The following announcement has been paid for by Perched on the Top Rope.
What's up, guys? This is the Murderhawk Monster, Lance Archer, and you are watching Perched on the Top Rope. And watch out, because I'll chokeslam you on the way down.
Welcome, everyone, to Perched on the Top Rope. I am your host, former dirt sheet writer from the Daily DDT, Ringside News, The Sportster, The Richest, and Sportskeeda. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Lee Walker, and WWE is coming off of a record-setting day in more ways than one. So, WWE has become more profitable basically than ever, thanks to the merger with UFC, which is because of the Endeavor deal that formed the TKO Group Holdings. The company is ready to start a new chapter, unfortunately. That meant changes. Now, last week, WWE had let go over 100 employees that were more on the corporate side, and on Thursday, September 21st, WWE had a record day. It was announced there would be a premium live event in Australia in February, and then it was announced that SmackDown would be leaving Fox and heading back to the USA Network. Now, the deal is for 5 years, and it is worth $1.4 billion. Wow. So, big numbers. This includes NBC paying $287 million per year. According to the Wall Street Journal, it represents a 40% increase over the deal that WWE had with Fox. Now that sounds like good news, right? Well, after an hour of the announcement that WWE SmackDown was moving from Fox back to the USA Network, WWE started releasing talent and wishing them the best of luck in their future endeavors. Now, this is something the company has done before. It happened very similar in 2021 amid record profits in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many people were let go from their contract, and WWE decided to do it again. So I'm going to break down who was released today and tell you a little bit about them. So first up, we have Yulisa Leon competing on 205 Live, and she competed on NXT. She tore her ACL in 2022. When she returned to the ring in May 2023, she had initially requested for her release from the company. However, they're now just releasing her. So not much was done there as far as that. Our next release is Quincy Elliott. Known as Congo Crush on the independent scene, Quincy Elliott joined the WWE in 2022. However, he's only mainly appeared on NXT Level Up with sporadic appearances on NXT. This next one comes as kind of a shocker, not a shocker, but for me it's a shocker because they were doing more with her, especially in NXT. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana Brooke was released. She's known for being an Arnold Classic bodybuilding and fitness competitor before she joined WWE in 2013. She was a mainstay in NXT until she hit the main roster in 2016. She played parts in high-profile matches. She had a lot of comedy-type-like skits. And Dana Brooke is a 15-time WWE 24/7 champion. The only thing I want to know is why we did not get a WWE Mattel Elite of Dana Brooke. That is something I wanted. We didn't get one. I'm a little upset. a little upset. This next release is Dabo Kato. He made his Raw debut in the Raw Underground segments in 2020. He officially made his mark in 2021. He was teaming with Apollo Crews, where he was reintroduced as Commander Aziz. He spent some time on the main roster and then was sent down to NXT. He began using the Dabo Kato name again in 2023. Had several bouts in NXT before being released. It is what it is. This sucks. The next person to be released was Shanky. He signed with WWE in 2020 and appeared at the 2021 Superstar Spectacle event. Shanky began teaming with Jinder Mahal and Veer as a heel group before working on a dancing gimmick. You would see him with like Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston dancing around. He recently returned to action for the first time in 14 months. He even faced Gunther for the Intercontinental title in India. It's something I actually did not know, believe it or not. Oh, we have Mace, ladies and gentlemen. Mace joined the WWE in 2016, who originally started as a member of the WWE commentary team. In 2020, Williams joined the Retribution faction and was renamed Mace. I'm sure you guys all remember that. Terrible, terrible gimmicks. After that, he was reintroduced as part of the Maximum Male Models. And yeah, that did not go that well either. So with that being said, Mace has been released from WWE. Following that, he did come out with a tweet saying this: after almost 10 years of making something out of nothing, I'm excited to spread my wings and be myself for the first time. Let's take this anime reference to the next level. Step into the Grand Tour. Please support us on Twitch tonight at 8:30. twitch.tv/GreatBlackOTAKU. So you know, if Mace is released, Mansoor has been released from WWE. Mansoor was the first Saudi-born wrestler to compete in WWE. He was scouted by WWE during a tryout in 2018. He was a consistent participant when WWE headed to Saudi Arabia. Mansoor joined the main event in 2021. He teamed and feuded with Mustafa Ali in 2022. Mansoor and Mace joined originally LA Knight stable Maximum Male Models, and they were together since their release. Our next release is Rick Boogs. Boogs joined the WWE in 2017. He went through many name changes before becoming Rick Boogs, playing the guitar and just working out on WWE TV. On the main roster, though, he would tear his quadricep tendon and returned after 9 months in January of 2023. Boogs is a 2-time 24/7 champion. Well, this list just keeps going on. The next release is Madcap Moss, who originally joined the WWE in 2014. He was formerly known as Riddick Moss, and then he had the Madcap run on the main roster debuting in 2020. He did win the 24/7 title in WWE, and after a year away from the ring, he returned in 2021 and feuded with Baron Corbin. Before getting released, he was teamed/managed by his real-life partner/fiance, Emma. Madcap Moss is also somebody who won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This next release is a two-time release, as it's not his first time. He is a member of Hit Row. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Francis, aka Top Dollar, has been released. He was signed by WWE in 2020 and then released in 2021, along with the rest of his faction. In 2022, the faction would return to WWE, and unfortunately so far, he is the only one released from the group again. Aaliyah was let go today, and she holds the fastest victory in WWE history at 3.17 seconds. Aaliyah is also a former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion with Raquel Rodriguez, and she had been with the WWE since 2015. Aaliyah had gone through many changes throughout her career. Nothing seemed to stick. It'll be interesting to see where she goes from here. Well, Madcap Moss was released, and his fiancée Emma was released as well. Ironically, that morning, because the WWE Elimination Chamber has been announced for Australia for February 24th, 2024. Tennille Dashwood, aka Emma, sent out a tweet saying, "A dream at WWE." She would then later quote tweet that tweet and say, "Oops, never mind, I just got released, ... I am no longer with WWE." She had originally joined WWE in 2011 and competed on the NXT brand, with her initial gimmick being a clumsy dancer. She was released in 2017. She would return to WWE in 2022 before now her recent release. Now this one shocks me because the character was over. Elias was let go from the WWE. Elias joined the WWE in 2014. You know, he had the gimmick of a musician playing the guitar. He was a fan favorite, hands down. He's a former WWE 24/7 champion, great singer, because WWE, unfortunately, now no longer stands for Walk with Elias. Elias would tweet out, "From drifting onto the scene, to WrestleMania with John Cena and The Undertaker, to millions around the world, for years walking with Elias, a #1 iTunes album, and being my own younger brother, Zeke, while traveling the world. It's been a blast. God is good." Now, our next release is from the famous OVW class of 2002 with the likes of John Cena, Batista, Brock Lesnar, and a former tag team partner with Brock Lesnar. in OVW, and Randy Orton. Ladies and gentlemen, Shelton Benjamin has been released by WWE. He first initially joined WWE in 2000. He's a former United States champion, Intercontinental champion, 24/7 champion, and tag team champion. While he was part of WWE, he got to be part of Team Angle and got to be part of the Hurt Business. And unfortunately, he is going to be seeing the next chapter. He did tweet, "I have been released from my WWE contract. I thank the WWE staff and, of course, the fans for everything. Something ends, something new begins. Looking forward to the next chapter." Mustafa Ali was released today. He is someone who had asked for his release before. Not granted, though. And his tweet was funny, but it's funny because he made a mistake. The first initial tweet was, "I am longer working with WWE. I look forward to the future. Thank you." He then had to go under and reply tweet to himself, fixing the mistake, saying, "No longer. Sorry for the confusion." Whew. Now, the last release for the day, ladies and gentlemen, was one of the more shocking ones to me. Now, we've heard some have had titles, but aside from Shelton Benjamin, no one held as many titles in WWE as this next superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE has come to terms and released Dolph Ziggler. Dolph initially joined the WWE in 2004 as a member of the Spirit Squad. Nikki! He was repackaged in 2008. He is one of the most accomplished wrestlers in WWE to be released. Ziggler held the following titles: former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, a United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion, SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Champions, and the NXT Champion. He is a former Money in the Bank winner, and he cashed in on Alberto Del Rio in 2013. And if you guys remember when he came running down with Big E and AJ Lee, the crowd went absolutely ballistic. It was some of the loudest cheering I had ever heard in WWE. So now the real question is, what is WWE? The over 100 corporate off-camera WWE staff were laid off as part of what has been said as budget cuts, according to PWI. Now, I don't know if these releases are necessarily due to budget cuts, but I also want to add that Bryson Montana was released from WWE as well. That brings us to a total of 16 talents who have been released today. And I'm honestly assuming Dolph Ziggler was the most expensive on the list. So, I want to know, who is WWE making room for? What I mean by that is, you just saw The Rock come back on Friday Night SmackDown, and he came out with well, he didn't come out with Pat McAfee, but Pat McAfee comes out first, followed with Austin Theory, and Austin Theory's blah, 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 and Pat McAfee's blah, blah, blah. So who comes out? The Great One, the People's Champion, The Rock. And this is what happened. At one point, The Rock goes to say something, and Austin Theory says, "It doesn't matter what The Rock says," using his own line against him. And the look on Pat McAfee's face was freaking hilarious. Just freaking hilarious. To which The Rock got the arena to split in half. He pointed to the right and had the crowd say, "You are," and then to the left say, "An asshole," to Austin Theory. Hilarious stuff. The Rock's great at what he does. Let's be honest, that's why he's in the position he's in. And then The Rock had the crowd stop and have the left side "you are" and have the right side say, "an asshole." So after that, The Rock says in 3 seconds he's going to kick Austin Theory's ass. He counts down 3, 2, and then Austin Theory attacks him. But in the end, it didn't go well for Austin Theory, as The Rock would hit his signature spine buster, followed by the People's Elbow. Now, why is this so significant? Well, earlier in the day, The Rock was live on the Pat McAfee show.
Assume after that, surgery, rehab, that's months and months, right?
I did triple hernia surgery, emergency surgery, but the tearing the quad off my pelvis, I had to go shoot Hercules. So I actually shot that movie Hurt. I didn't do surgery, so everything kind of just scar tissued up. And
Weapon.
You're a psycho.
of all the guys looking at me crazy.
Yeah, he's got his knees are, he can't even walk this
Right.
guy. I mean, it's a whole thing.
I feel
So
great.
now that we're learning all this, that kind of enforces the fact that people say the reason why you don't get back into the WWE as much is because if you get injured, it potentially slows down your entire, you have hundreds of people that work on your movies. Your team is one that relies upon
Thousands of people, man.
Thousands of people that is a massive reason why I assume that you haven't been able to get back as much as like all the WWE fans have been looking for.
Honestly, brother, it's not the injury that I'm concerned about, because that's just part of it. It's just part of the game. You sign up for it, you get hurt, we all get hurt. That's just the way it is. It's not even the schedule, because I could control the schedule to a large degree. It always comes to me going back to WWE and wrestling a match. It always comes down to the reason why and what can we create that's never been done before for the fans. So that's the idea.
Okay, which is perfect. Let's lead into last year in LA.
Yeah.
SoFi. Roman obviously on an incredible run.
Yeah.
The bloodline, huh?
Yeah.
They're not talking about my bloodline.
No.
They're not talking about Connor's bloodline.
definitely not.
Ty's definitely not.
Nope.
Tones, no. AJ Hawk's bloodline runs real deep. They're not talking about, they were talking about your bloodline. So that story was a big one. The Rock and Roman, SoFi, LA. How close? Did that ever, and was that close?
All right, so the Rock headlining WrestleMania with Roman Reigns, SoFi Stadium, that was locked.
What?
We were
No way.
we were doing it. We were doing it. We were doing it. But let me just tell you. So about in the beginning of 2022. Nick Khan, who we know,
Friend of ours, shout out
very
Nicky.
good friend, long time, for years.
Dog.
He's the man. He was very instrumental in bringing Vince and I together. We all flew to LA. We met. We sat. This is the beginning in 2022, and we broke out the Terramana. We toasted life, toasted the business we love, and about an hour later, we started talking about the potential of what this match could be between myself and Roman Reigns headlining WrestleMania at SoFi. And we shook hands and we hugged right there, all three of us at the table, and said, let's do this. And so the North Star, though, so then we had a year to really think about this. So the North Star thought was, okay, let's not do something good, let's not do something great, let's do something unprecedented. And it was in what can we create for the fans that has never been done before. A match, great. Roman, incredible athlete. He's going to be on Mount Rushmore.
Super handsome.
Right? Super handsome, good dude. My cousin, family, amazing. We can have the match, but the bigger thought was, what can we do for the fans in this business that we love that will, where WrestleMania isn't the end of something, it's actually the beginning of something bigger.
Got it.
So
what happened?
so we got really, really close, but we couldn't actually nail what that thing was. So we decided to put our pencils down, and then we agreed, hey, listen, there is a merger coming up. Eventually that will happen. There's WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Whoa.
Lift the eyebrow. What are you saying?
I'm saying that that's a potential too. So I'm open. But again, let's figure out what that is, because the fans deserve something just incredible and unprecedented. And not only that, but also want to deliver to the locker room and the boys and the girls back there who are working their asses off. What can we do to put them in a position where they're part of something that is a new change, an era in this world of pro wrestling? Again, Vince is a big picture thinker, as you know.
Yes, sir.
And this is why we've gotten along for years, just trying to think big picture. So,
How do you feel about his mustache right now?
Strong.
How do you feel about
is that strong?
Oh,
Strong?
yeah, very strong.
So as I go down this rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen, I think maybe it could be these releases happened not for new CEOs to get millions of dollars in bonuses. Maybe it's because The Rock is going to come back and wrestle at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. As you just heard that clip from him on the Pat McAfee show, he brought up, there's always WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Now, there's also another interesting take on this, or theory, if you will. Not, Austin theory as we saw on SmackDown. Take the people's elbow from The Rock. But this theory was teased by a Punk.
We're going to have to do a post-fight. We're going to have to do like a post-fight show where we break things down because, that.
You got time on your hands?
Yeah, I got some time on my hands for the next 2 months.
All right, fair enough.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. While doing commentary for CFFC, it's a MMA company, CM Punk teased that he had a few months on his hands. Now we know he was recently released by AEW, but based off the time he had brought up, that means that we would see November Survivor Series, CM Punk, WWE Chicago. It could happen. Is that why 16 superstars were released Thursday, September 21st, 2023? I'm not exactly sure. But I'm willing to find out in November. Or is it because John Cena is back in WWE? John Cena, The Rock, possibly CM Punk, those would be 3 heavy hitters. That would cost quite a bit of money to, run in your company. So, only time will tell. But there's also April. And if it's not November, I'm willing to find out in April 2024 for WrestleMania 40. Fans, you will have to let me know in the comments section on Facebook at facebook.com/perched on the top rope when this episode gets posted on Friday, September 22nd. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Perched on the Top Rope. You can find us anywhere and everywhere podcasts are found, from Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Podbay, Red Circle, you name it, we're there. It's Perched on the Top Rope. And for all of you countries who keep us on your chartable charts, we thank you. You can also find us on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, where we recently had Izzy Moreno, and we have AEW's Lance Archer, as well as former New Japan Pro Wrestling, former WWE, and current All Japan Pro Wrestling Yoshitatsu interviews coming soon. You can also find us on TikTok, where we make great Selena scenes using Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On with the greatest moments in professional wrestling history. Because you're not going to tell me that Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 32 is not one of the greatest moments in professional wrestling history. Because it is. And if that doesn't tickle your fancy, ladies and gentlemen, you can watch the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan get humped by a dog. That is right. You heard me correctly. You can go to TikTok, Perched on the Top Rope, and watch the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan get humped by a dog. Fans, you can also find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/perched on the top rope. What are we doing there? Well, we play AEW's Stadium Stampede online match. 30 competitors, 1 winner. Ladies and gentlemen, in the world, I am currently ranked 375. So I'm doing pretty good. We're also playing WWE 2K23, as I love me a good Royal Rumble. You can also find us on Twitter, or X, as it is kind of now known, at Perched Top Rope. You can also find us on Instagram and Threads at Perched on the Top Rope Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, spoiler free's the way to be. I'm out.